Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something that I think you guys have really loved that I've done in the past, and I am reorganising my bookshelf. Now there's nothing wrong with how it's laid out, like I only have one shelf so I don't have a lot of options of how to lay things out, unfortunately. I wish I could have bookshelves in my background, but I can't. So I'm limited to the one shelf. Now what I'm going to do today, take all the books off, dust it down because it really desperately needs a clean, and then I'm just going to try and put them back on in a more visually appealing way. So you're going to get to see my process basically. So I think basically what I'm going to try and do is have some of my favourite covers facing out, so that it's not just all straight spines, really boring. I kind of want to mix it up a little bit, so yeah, we'll see how we go. My first step, I'm just going to take all the books off and dust the shelf down, and then I will come back to you when I'm actually reorganising it. But I will give you a quick overview of what the shelf looks like currently now before I begin. Okay, so just a quick little explanation as to more in depth why I'm actually doing this again. My room basically needed a deep clean and a refresh because I was getting so bored of looking at the same paintings on my walls, etc, etc, that were really old, that I did 10 years ago, and I've done other ones that I've been more proud of since. And everything was just dusty, it was a mess, everything was everywhere because I've not been very well, and I've spent a lot of time in my bedroom, but it's just got to a point where it's unorganised and I cannot deal with that. So also the bookcase, I was just getting really bored of looking at it, and it's been the same way for a while, and if I don't move things around I won't get re-inspired. I don't really know how to phrase it, but there are some piles of books that need to be kept together. Now there's one stack of books that I'm not going to show in this because they're not for me. If you don't know, I've said it so many times throughout this year, so you probably are sick of hearing about it already, but rather than giving each other Christmas presents, me and my friend are doing book advent calendars for each other this year. So to make sure that we're not buying duplicates of what someone already has, we are both on a year-long book buying ban. We're not allowed to buy ourselves any books, but we are buying books for each other. So I've run out of space of the ones that I'm storing in my wardrobe for her. So the ones for her I need to leave space for on this shelf, but I'm not going to be putting them on there and showing them in this video because she watches the video. So I need to bear in mind that I need to keep space back for them, but that's fine, I have plenty of space on my shelf. So I also have the books which I've read so far, physical books that I've read so far in September, that I need to just keep in a stack, but they just go sort of at the front wherever there's space, so that's easily done. And then I also have to keep my October TBR together. That video should already be up before this one. They are staying together. They're all the ones that I picked out of my TBR jar. It was so much fun. Okay, but I think what I want to do is I want to try and keep authors and genres together because I kind of like doing that, and then displaying my favourite covers outwards. So it's going to be a bit of trial and error, and I'm going to have to see what works, what doesn't. I'm so sorry that this is the best angle I can give you because that's literally my bed. Apologies that you can hear the budgies as well. Let's start with books to display in the middle, I think, and then we'll go with that. Okay, I think I've come up with a plan. So I think I haven't tested any of this out yet, so as I say, it's trial and error, we'll see as we go, but still haven't read ACOTAR. And I think having them just stacked like that on my shelf is very intimidating, and they look so cool and they work so well stacked like this on my shelf. I do love having them like that, but I think if I had them all cover outwards, I'd probably be more inclined to want to read them. Like, I do really badly, desperately want to read this series, but I didn't pick it out for my October prompts, so we've got to hope that I can wiggle it in somewhere. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with like a little central display piece. Then one end I think I'm going to have like remaining fantasy, dystopian and like murder mystery thrillers. And then the other end is going to be more like romance, kind of general fiction type things, but still having a few other covers facing out as well. So let's just, as a temporary measure, let's just see how this looks if I do this. So. Oh, okay, I actually really quite like that. Well, for the minute they look fine, so I'm going to leave it like that. I know you guys can't see it yet, I will give you an overview at the end, I promise. Right, okay, so next up, I think I'm going to do tell you what, let's do the fantasy murder mystery end, because I was going to do the romance side next, but I think if I do that, then it's going to be easier to see the romance ones I have left, and I know what I want to do with a specific stack. And I think I'll put them down this end because there aren't quite as many, and this is the end where I always put my what I've read in the month and my TBRs and other books that aren't being shown, sort of thing. Okay, so I think we should have Shatter Me next to ACOTAR, just like that. And then I can put a little trinket on top. I think my favourite covers of the sort of murder mystery thriller ones are Friends Like These. I quite like, so it's just kind of someone falling in water. This actually sounds really interesting, and I completely forgot what it was about when I read the summary, and now I just really want to read it. But I also, sorry, I've got the hiccups. But I also really adore these Marion Lane covers. Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder and the Deadly Rose. I know there's a third one as well, I think, but I don't own that. So I kind of want to display these somehow as well. I'm not so sure about this one, displaying it. Like, I'm not that fussed, but we'll see what space I have and work with that. Thing is, I don't want all the ones that I'm standing up with the covers facing out to get, like, bent out of shape. I'm happy with that for now, so we'll leave it like that and then we will tweak it as we go if need be. My October TBR can go on the end because I've left space, and so can what I've read in September. I'll leave those off and I'll add them at the end because that's going to ruin the display a little bit. So hopefully in this space all the remainder should fit. Guys, I'm so proud of myself actually. Back at the start of the year, I don't know if any of you saw my Rearranging My Bookshelf tour then, but it was so packed full, and like there was some sideways horizontally on top as well, and now I've made so much space. I'm so pleased with myself. But I think next I'm going to do my coho section, maybe just here, and then I'm just going to put everything else. So my favourite covers of these, I think hands down definitely have to be It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us, although I don't like the size difference. Okay, that doesn't really work. Oh guys, I need help. Maybe I just shouldn't display ACOTAR so widely. I also don't really like having loads of them stacked but horizontally anyway. Okay, no, I don't like that. Let's change it. See, I don't mind having Shatter Me that way because it's a series and then I just go top to bottom. I'm not going to reach for the bottom ones till I've read the top ones anyway. I'm not really liking how unbalanced this looks, I'm not going to lie. I think I'm actually going to rearrange this a bit more than I already have. I'm so sorry. I do like it with ACOTAR in the middle, but I just think if I put cohos in the middle, that's more books in that space. I can have it as more of like a centerpiece with It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us covers facing out, and then I can fit more books either side. Let me just, you know what? I'm just going to turn the camera off for a minute, do a bit of rearranging, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I think I've done it. I'm happy enough. Like, I had to retweak it quite a lot. So it's a good job that I turned my camera off. But I think it's good enough. I've got some of my favourite covers facing outwards, not too many. It's a bit more varied and a bit more staggered and more interesting. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Obviously you'll have seen the before, and now I'm going to show you the after. Okay, so starting at this end, we have, this is kind of like the first sort of section of the shelf. So I've got Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder cover facing out because I really like that one. I like the Deadly Rose one as well, but it just made more sense to have the first one in the series facing out for the minute, and then obviously once I've read it I can swap. And then I realised I'd forgotten to put You'll Be the Death of Me with the other murder mysteries and things, so I fixed that. Obviously that has sprayed purple edges, but I don't really want to display them. I think it looks quite nice with the 4 white. And then Death and Croissants and Rock Paper Killers. I'm planning to read that. Rock Paper Killers probably this month anyway, so that won't be there for very long. Then we have ACOTAR stacked as it was originally. I changed my mind, yes, and then I put the little fake plant on top. I just think it works best so well like this, and yeah, I'm gonna read it anyway regardless, so hence that's why I have the books. Then I realised Friends Like These should have technically probably been with the thrillers and mysteries. I don't think it's a romance, I think it's like more of a mystery thriller kind of thing. And then obviously we have Shatter Me with my little Tatty Teddy figurine on top, so yeah, this is, I believe, in order. I don't own the novellas and the last book in physical form, but they are on my Kindle, so I do have them all. Then, I think this is probably one of my favourite bits of the shelf, honestly. So I managed to stack, it starts with us and it ends with us like this. Put the rest of the cohos. Then I've got like my song title ones, but I put the book cover for that one facing out because I really quite like it. And then I had a little bit of gap here that I sort of needed to fill, so I've put The Road Trip and The American Roommate Experiment, Full Tilt All In and Addicted to You. These are all at different heights and coming out different, like Full Tilt is coming out further than All In and the others, but that's fine. Wrecked and then Redeemed. I was going to do it the other way around, but I think I slightly prefer the cover of Redeemed. So I've put that there. I've got my little tea light candle holder figurine on top. Then we have Just Haven't Met You Yet, All This Time, 5 Feet Apart. They both die at the end as far as the stars. I believe that as far as the stars and After the Rain are both like, I don't really know how to describe it, kind of like natural disaster romance things. I'm not sure, but I kind of like this cover, so I put it facing out. And then we have the remainder of all my other books that I'm not particularly fond of the covers and just don't really make sense being anywhere else. So yeah, that is it. That is my physical TBR. I do have a few other books on another bookshelf in another room, but they stay on that bookshelf, they don't go on my shelf. So that is it. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. I really quite like it, especially like this bit is like my favourite. And obviously as I read more books throughout the rest of the year, the numbers will dwindle and I'll be able to showcase more of my books. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I might as a little bonus clip also include like how I've rearranged the paintings on my walls. I really love my shelf. I think it looks so nice and so much better, and I'm so much happier with it, with all the covers facing out. And picking my TBR for next month is going to be so much more fun, I think. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff that you guys know how to do. Yeah, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the shelf, if you think I should have done anything differently, your favourite covers, any of these books I should prioritise reading, and yeah, hopefully I will see you in another video very soon.